Hey everybody, in this video I'm going to be showing you how to get the Dreamcatcher, and part of that process is also getting the double-barreled handgun, little shotgun, which is pretty cool too. So let's get started. Note that the Dreamcatcher is like a part of the process of unlocking a couple of other key loot items in the game. So going through this process and getting this will be important to you. Now there's a number of steps involved in this, so you're going to have to follow me here, okay? Now, all of this takes place in Asylum, in the Asylum region, and it can only happen if you roll the correct version of Asylum. So, my first time playing through the game, the Nightweaver wasn't in it, the Asylum wasn't in it, none of that stuff even existed in my first campaign. So, you come into adventure mode, you re-roll Asylum until you start out at Morrow Parish. Once you start out at Morrow Parish, you're in the right spot. This is very easy to do. All you gotta do is just sit there on adventure mode here. Yeah, and you just hit reroll adventure mode, you select Asylum. If you get Morrow Parish, great. And you're just gonna do that. It should take you, I don't know, a handful of tries. I got it on my second try while I was rerolling, so it's no problem. So once you start out at Morrow Parish, you're in the right spot. Now, once you spawn in at Morrow Parish, if you pull up the map, you'll notice something. The Asylum is here. This is the Asylum. But the gate is closed, and you cannot access it. Okay? So what you're going to have to do is clear the map. You want to end up at the door with the exclamation point, which for me was here. This took me to the sewers. I cleared the sewers and came out this side. So getting the Dreamcatcher is a bit of a process. You're going to have to progress through this version of the story, of the campaign. But you're just going to be following the exclamation points, basically. I cleared the sewers, I killed the Bloat King, was the boss in that dungeon for me. I come out this door, and I'm able to wrap around to the Asylum. Okay, so once you get to the Asylum, you have a new checkpoint. We're going to make our way in, and we're going to start this whole process of getting the Dreamcatcher. All this revolves around the Asylum and the story here, which is actually pretty interesting. I actually really enjoyed this whole process. Little shade appears at the end of the hallway, and it'll pop up a couple of times. There's a few little like jump scare kind of things which I really appreciated about this whole quest line. Basically what you're going to be doing is, the first time coming through here, I think it's good just to clear the whole place of combatants, so you can run around freely and get the things that you need to get. When you clear out this second floor here, you can come back and unlock the door where you climbed in the window. That way it just kind of opens things up for you. You're more free to move around. But our main goal right now is to collect 3 wooden statues, little sculptures of the Nightweaver. We want to get all 3 of them. Collecting numbers 1 and 2 can be done in any order. There's a little shade appears. Spoopy. Too spoopy for me. There's a lot of locked doors, by the way. We're going to be opening those over the course of the next hour or so. Like I said, this one is a bit of a process, but worth it. If you head into the basement, you're going to notice a couple things. There's this like spooky spider web kind of a thing. Don't interact with it. Don't mess with it. Just leave that alone for now. There's also this locked door. You can hear someone speaking behind it. We don't need to talk to her just yet. There's nothing we can do right now, so just leave her be. We'll come back to her soon enough. But we're going to come up out of the basement and into this back entrance of the courtyard. And here's where we're going to get some important items. So you can unlock the front door, so we are now free to move in and out of the front door into the courtyard. We don't have to use the basement anymore. In this corner of the courtyard, there's a shed. Something's pounding on the door. And here is our first sculpture to grab. Boom. We've got stone carved doll number 1. Now, next thing you need to do is open up the shed. I won't spoil what happens. Once you open up the shed and take care of business, you're going to walk in here and you get the Asylum 3rd floor key. Very important item for this whole quest. Now that we have the 3rd floor key, we're going to go in and get our hands on the 2nd stone carved doll. Go ahead and walk in the front door. Head back to the right. And in the office at the end of the hallway behind the bookshelf, you will find our 2nd stone carved doll. I did forget to mention that in the basement, by the way, in one of the open cells, you can crouch under the stone wall and acquire an amulet. But at this juncture, we've got the 3rd floor key. We have the first 2 stone carved dolls. We're going to head back upstairs to the 2nd floor. Over towards the window where we hopped in, there's a staircase that will take us up to the 3rd floor. You're going to have a bunch of flying ads to kill. But we now have the key to open up the door to the 3rd floor. Go ahead and shove that baby in there and keep progressing. There's going to be lots of ads that ambush you here. Make your way to the far room, and in here you can see glowing red in the corner is our third and final stone carved doll. Go ahead and take care of business so you can pick that up and keep moving. The next thing we're going to do is head out of that room, back to this main room on the third floor, jump out the open window, turn to your left, and you're going to find the prison cell key, which goes to the prison cell in the basement, and a simulacrum. Make sure you pick that up as well. We're going to head back to the basement and go up to this door. We're going to have a conversation with the lady behind it. You'll find out a little bit more about who she is, why she's in there. And eventually, as you progress the conversation with her, she'll talk about sculptures that she's made, and you will offer the ones that you have found to her. Do not open the door. Don't open the door yet. Okay? We want to do this in the correct order. Have the conversation, offer her the dolls. You'll slide them through the door to her. She'll be very grateful. After you hand them to her, she's going to sing a song. Pay attention to it. Get a notepad. You're listening for numbers. Of teeth and trails and darkened veils and unforgiving light. Blah, blah, blah. 2 shiny copper teeth, 9 discarded combs, and 7 yellowed leaves excised from 1 forgotten tome. So that is 2971. Yours might be different. I don't know. A lot of times with the puzzles in this game, there's variation, right? You'll look up a guide online and it'll be like, my combination to this safe was 8473. And you're like, that's not mine. In fact, when I tried to put that in, it locked me out of the puzzle. So yours might be different, okay? But write down the numbers that you hear her sing. After you do that, then select the option, open the door, unlock the door. After you open that baby up, go ahead and grab the Nightweaver stone doll. It's a new doll for you. Now, those numbers that we just wrote down, head back upstairs. There's going to be an office here on the main floor, right here. And there's a safe in here. Interact with the safe. Input the code that you received from the lady in the cell. And when you open it up, you will receive the double-barreled shotgun handgun. It looks really good, actually. Yeah, cool-looking little handgun. And we continue. Now we're going to go back up to the third floor, the very top floor. Weave our way around, back through the room where we got our final stone-carved doll. Come over to this door, take a left, and we're going to go through the golden door that is marked by an exclamation point. That is going to take you to Nimue's retreat. Once here, make your way down through the caverns into Nimue's domain. Hot Fae Mommy is going to talk to us. We're going to have a conversation with her. Progress through the dialogue until eventually you get to the option where you say, I'm ready. Send me to the Nightweaver. It says, send me to the Nightweaver's hunting grounds. She says, so it shall be. Now, she's going to send you somewhere. For me, it was the Forsaken Quarter. It might be that for you. It might be something different. This game is, randomly generates your pathways throughout these campaigns that it rolls for you. So it might be different. For me, it was the Forsaken Quarter. What you're looking for, no matter where you get sent, what you're looking for is another shiny gilded door. And it will be marked by an exclamation point on your map. So for me, I had to make my way through the Forsaken Quarter. I had to clear the ads in my way until eventually I found the rectangle door. It won't be an arched door. It'll be a rectangle door, which signifies that this is a main quest pathway with an exclamation point above it. Go through the gilded door. For me, it took me to the Gilded Halls, or Gilded Chambers. I always say that wrong. You're going to have to progress through the Gilded Chambers or wherever it takes you and fight whatever boss is in that dungeon. They are blocking your path to the Dreamcatcher. Go ahead and take them out in any means that you see fit. If it happens to be the Red Prince, you may want to consider doing something different because there's a couple different ways to beat him or to interact with him that lead to different loot outcomes. So if you've already encountered him before, you may want to do the opposite of what you did the first time you encountered him. Nevertheless, you defeat the boss in whatever dungeon you get sent to, and then you're going to make your way towards the exit. And you're just going to hear some stuff. Screaming, wailing, laughing. Too spoopy for me. And here you will see the Nightweaver. She'll blast you away and skid away. And she will leave behind the Soul Key tribute. Now we're going to follow her and go through this gilded door. I know this has been a process. When you come out of the door, you're going to be back in the asylum behind one of the locked doors on the main floor that you could not previously get through. Go ahead and open the door, and now we're going to be heading back down to the basement. And don't worry if you're coming out of that previous boss fight and you don't have a lot of materials and heals and all that stuff. It's a-okay, because we're going to have a checkpoint down there to interact with. Now, when we get down there, we're finally going to interact with this little web that we've been walking past. Come up, interact with it, offer the soul key tribute, and what's going to happen is that this is going to split a doorway to sort of a separate dimension, the tormented asylum. Here we are in the tormented asylum. It's going to look all spoopy. Turn left and come down the hallway, and the first door on your left is going to have some webs to interact with. Walk up to it and offer the Nightweaver stone doll, and you will be rewarded with the Dreamcatcher. Congratulations! You now have it. You'll hear some laughing. But there you go, you've got the Dreamcatcher now. This is actually a key to unlocking a couple of other things in the game, so it's going to be important for you to get your hands on this. Now, around the corner is a checkpoint, and then a boss fight. And if you need help with that boss fight, the very next video I upload will be a guide on how to take down the Nightweaver. Thanks for watching the video. Leave a like if you found it helpful, and I hope to catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.